Man, Lexi, thanks for stopping by and taking some time to talk about stewardship with me today.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so, kind of what I've been asking everybody is tell me about your relationship with stewardship and what that's been like in your life and what you wrestle with, how it's changed.
It's interesting that we talk about it, and I know that we've had some really deep conversations about it too, but it's not always something that's been comfortable for me, especially in churches, and being able to openly have a conversation about money in general is kind of scary. Justin worked at a bank, and so he would see accounts and things of that nature, and so we always struggled with wanting to give to the church based on how things appear sometimes.
Yeah.
So we always focused our stewardship to charities, to local places, donations, things like that. So this is new for me.
Yeah.
To have an actual home to put it to.
Well, I love you named that because I think, all of these conversations we've been having so far have talked about stewardship from the perspective of the member, of the community member. And I think what you're bringing to this is this piece of the question about, okay, well, we might be being good stewards of our time and talents and income, but there's this wariness of trusting that the institution, that the church, that the body, in its organizational form is going to be a good steward of what it's been given. And I think that's so important to name because we see all these scandals and we see the way, these, the stories of this pastor making, 6 figures or driving around in a BMW, and it can make us pause and say, like, maybe, I don't know that I want to, how do I know this is going to be different? How do I know this church isn't going to be like the others? And ironically, I'm sitting and talking to my treasurer right now, and wondering if you can kind of speak to how do we have accountability at St. Cornelius, and what are our plans to help people here know that we're being good stewards of what they're stewarding?
And I think that kind of is part of why I was excited about being treasurer and having kind of a hand in that and seeing really truly firsthand where everything goes. But with everything moving to the new system, to Realm, to having everything in one place and being able to see not only members, but accounts, monies, what's coming in, what's going out, I'm excited about Realm because it's going to be a really awesome way to be really easily transparent. So I'm hopeful. I've been struggling with QuickBooks to find a way to show you where the money is, where it's going, where it's coming in, but I'm excited to have that with Realm, and I'm excited for everyone at the church to be able to see really where the money is going.
Man, and right, like, because we have this tool, and we are a small church, right? Like, we're building what our energy, our ethos of stewardship is, and I think it gives us the opportunity to say, okay, what are the things that we've experienced that were negative, and how do we build in this new community the antithesis to that? And I think what that turns us back to is kind of what Vince touched on, and Andy, honestly, everybody, that this is the body of Christ, and that each piece needs to be part of the conversation. And so encouraging members to take an active participation in wanting to understand what goes on behind the scenes. What helps all of the things they see happen, and that as we're a small group, we can have those conversations and set a foundation to, as we grow, have trust between the leaders and the community that says, look, we are going to steward your resources in honest and direct ways, and here's how we're going to show you, and we want you to be part of that conversation.
And I feel like we're in an interesting place right now being so small. I think that it's easier to see how the body moves as a whole, and how if one piece isn't working, we really need the help. We need the cast on your toe, like with those silly things. But I think that it's nice to be able to see that.
Yeah, when it's like, right, that the funds and how the funds are used becomes a mean, like a ways to the means to the end, right? That there's this work, like Canon Saylor's talked about being the disciples and being the body, and that when we have these funds and we use them together in a healthy way, we really can transform our community, and that this is a key piece of that.
I mean, community is what it's about, so I'm excited.